Do you want to just stop? Are you done with this? making the last few minute touch-ups.
Any questions from me? No? Good.
Will this be the final
Well, we don't know. Ideally, no. Because ideally, there will be one that gives us some resolution.
Okay.
But we don't know, right?
This is not.
I don't know the answer. I don't expect that, but who knows? You know, I'm getting here with you guys, so I don't know what's happening right now.
Okay.
So we'll go with that.
Thank you.
For cameras, again, just two reminders. For cameras, we will have an ASL interpreter. Nick will be standing to the left of the podium. Over this way will be the commissioner, superintendent, Evan, the mayor, and then they'll step back and move over. The only other thing I will mention is that on the monitors, you will be seeing some slides that will be important to your broadcast.
Okay. Broadcast safe.
What's that?
Broadcast safe.
They are indeed. As a matter of fact, not only will they be broadcast, we will be having some, we will be spreading it on our social media channels.
Thank you.
Yep. Are the slides ready?
Audio check, test 1 2, testing 1 2 3. Check testing, testing for level. Check testing 1 2 3. Check testing 1 2 3. Check testing. Good.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Bob Jacobson. I am the Commissioner of Public Safety, and it's my honor to serve in that position. We're here today to give some updates on the current investigation. First off, I would like to thank the law enforcement agencies and the public out there who are being vigilant, our law enforcement partners who are watching out for others in our community, the understanding and patience of the public as we work to find this individual and bring that person to justice. We know that it's been a difficult day for not only those who have worked with those legislators, but it's also a difficult day for those in the state of Minnesota who are working through this terrible tragedy. Today we have a few speakers who are going to, again, give some updates, and we will be available to answer some questions once all the speakers have had that opportunity to say a few words. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Superintendent Drew Evans of the BCA.
Thanks, Commissioner. And today we are asking for the public's help at this point in time in locating Vance Luther Bolter, who is a 57-year-old white male who is 6 feet 1 inch tall, 220 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes. I know this name has been reported in the media so far, and we are confirming he's a person of interest that we are looking to locate in relation to this. At this time, we would ask the public, if you do locate him or see him, to call 911. Do not approach him. You should consider him armed and dangerous, and you should call 911 immediately with the information. He was seen last this morning wearing light-colored cowboy hat that you can see up here in the clothing there, with dark-colored long-sleeve collared shirt or coat, light pants, and carrying a dark bag. If you have any tips about the whereabouts or any information that would be helpful, you can call local police department, or you can call our BCA tip line at 877-996-6222, or email us at bca.tips@state.mn.us. We still don't know if additional people are involved, but this individual is the one that we're looking as a person of interest right now, but there may be other people with him, and we would like to speak to anybody that may have had contact with him at any point in time. So please connect with us, even if this has been some time ago today, so that we can follow up and continue to work together to keep our communities safe. And we, as the Commissioner noted, we'll take some questions at the end. But again, we are seeking the assistance of the public in locating him. I want to continue to say, as you see, there's hundreds of law enforcement officers working on this right now for the partners that you see up here today, as well from Champlin, Brooklyn Park, the State Patrol, Hennepin County Sheriff's Office, FBI, ATF, just a myriad of partners working to try to locate this individual. And with that, I will turn it over to the mayor, and we'll answer questions at the end.
So hi, my name is Hollis Winston, Mayor of the City of Brooklyn Park. First, I want to extend my prayers to the Hoffman family, but also to the Hortman family as well. You know, there will come a time down the road for healing within us as a community, but right now I think what's required is a calming words and rhetoric. I want folks to make sure they listen to the facts from credible sources like law enforcement, but also to resist spreading misinformation. And then again, asking folks to listen to law enforcement in general when law enforcement has those specific asks. In Brooklyn Park and Champlin and our surrounding communities, in fact, the state, we're very much family. The Hoffman and Hortman families are very much our family. And so our prayers continuously go out to them. And it's very much a time for us to come together as a community and as a family. And I think people need to see it that way. I want to thank law enforcement, Governor Waltz, Commissioner Jacobson, Sheriff Witt, FBI, various counties, local law enforcement. Even with our city of Brooklyn Park, we're seeing a ton of local law enforcement and county law enforcement just supporting our city overall. And we want to thank them for doing that. They're dedicated to keeping us safe and to securing justice. I would say to support them again, if you have information, there'll be information behind me. Please share that information. And again, please look and listen for valid information and share that. There will be a time to come together, and I think specifically for the city of Brooklyn Park and within our area, there'll be a time where we come together and we work through what we're going through now as a community. But I want to say this. You know, this individual did this to instill fear into our community, but they also wanted to create a distinct and singular point of view. When I listed all of that law enforcement coming together, that was really us as a state, as a community, from all different walks of life, coming together to work on what's happening. And I received calls from folks across the state, from all different ethnicities and communities as well, with an outpouring of support. So I want you to understand that as a city, but as a state, as a community, we're very much going to come together. We're going to see this through, and we're all going to work together to figure this out. So again, I want to thank our law enforcement, and I want to turn it over to the Mayor of Champlin Park.
Good afternoon. My name is Ryan Sabis, Mayor of Champlin, and on behalf of the City of Champlin, our police department, and our City Council, I want to extend a heartfelt thoughts and prayers to Senator John Hoffman and Representative Melissa Hortman and their families. We are deeply saddened by the senseless act of violence, and our hearts are with all those that have been affected. Our police department is working close partnership with state, local, and federal agencies to pursue this active investigation. We are incredibly grateful for their swift and responsible professional response and for the collaboration of commitment of every officer involved. We ask everyone to stay attentive, report anything that feels concerning, and most of all, continue to show kindness, respect, and care for one another. This is how we move forward together. And again, thank you all for being here. And again, I think Mayor Winston said it well that Hoffman family and the Hortman family are very much part of our communities, part of our fabric of our communities, and we really wish the families all the best. Thank you.
As folks have said, we'll take a few questions. Please don't forget to, in the first question, introduce yourself, your immediate organization with whom you're with, and if you have a question for a specific individual, call that out. Thank you.
The question was, do we have an update on Senator Hoffman's condition? We don't at this time. The last information we had is that he was out of surgery and was in stable condition at that time, but that certainly experienced significant injuries, so we'll have to continue to monitor that.
You said person of interest, so not a suspect, or is?
He's a suspect, one and the same for this particular case at this point in time.
Okay, so we can say suspect.
You can say suspect.
As an officer with WCCO and UCU, we know this guy, it was at least affiliated with some sort of security company, according to his own website, that has highly trained security individuals. Can you speak to the level of knowledge this person might have about, using a gun or, different security tactics that might separate him from a typical person walking down the street?
Yes, so the question was regarding the sophistication of the individual based on reports that he owned a security company. I certainly can't get into the details of the investigation. That'll all be part of that, and we'll explore all of that. We're aware of the connections that you reference, and the team will be dissecting that between the investigators, Brooklyn Park Police Department, and all of the state, the local, and federal partners that are working on that. Certainly, an individual will have some familiarity if that's the line of work that they're in with some of the tactics that you noted, but we'll be exploring that more fully.
One question about the photo that we're seeing in the cowboy hat and the jacket. Is that photo taken today?
That photo is today.
And is it from a ring camera at the residence of either of our lawmakers?
The question is it from a ring camera? It's not. This is from a business. So this is at a business location. And there, we believe, as noted, that we believe he's was still in at this time. He was in the Twin Cities area, and that we are continuing to work and follow up on that. We believe he's working to potentially flee the area, and so that's why we're sharing that with that information now so that we can safely apprehend him.
Is there a way that you're in touch with the TSA? I know Governor Walz has been in contact with federal agents, as you have mentioned with the FBI.
Yep.
Are airlines, seeing his pictures made as important?
Yeah, so the question is, are we in contact with TSA? We've been in contact with all of the federal authorities that are relevant to this investigation. We will continue to be.
Are you able to share the time or location that photo was taken today?
The question is, can I share the time and location? This was this morning when this was taken. It was in the city of Minneapolis. That's at this point, I think, all that we can share as we work to follow up on that. We'll
Are there any surveillance or ring camera video from either of the residents where the shootings take place?
The question is, there's surveillance or ring camera. We do have various video from different locations. I don't want to get into specifics as part of the active investigation, but there is video that has been obtained by the investigators.
Can you talk about some of the other locations that you guys are working on, Green Isle, maybe including Fremont and Minneapolis?
So, yeah, we can, the question is, can we talk about some of the other locations? You know, because our teams are very active as part of an active investigation, I can't talk about the specifics. What I will tell you is the two locations you noted, in Minneapolis and in Green Isle, they are related to this investigation and the follow-up that the teams are doing.
I'm going to give Ellen, I'm sorry, we're going to give it to Ellen, and then we're going to have one more question.
Can you talk a little bit more about the manifesto and what kind of motivation it might be? We're told that there might be some pro-choice lawmakers on this manifesto. That has anything to do with the motivations here?
At this point in time, it would be premature. The question was, is the manifesto and the information that we have received as their motivations? We are working diligently on that. There's certainly some indications within that, but there's not specifics enough. We have been, this is a very active and fluid investigation. Throughout the day, as you've been waiting and these teams have been out working out in the field, and they have been gathering more documents and information, so it would be premature for me at this point to really say exactly what the motivation might be from these writings, but we will be continuing to work on that and provide that information when we're able.
Did they know each other? Like, did this man know either Hortman or Hoffman in any capacity?
The question is, do they know each other in any capacity? We are still exploring that. There's certainly some overlap with some, public meetings, I will say, with Senator Hoffman and the individual, but we don't know the nature of the relationship or if they actually knew each other.
All right, thank you. Thanks, everybody. Guys, we're going to leave these slides up and cycle through them for a little bit so you can get better angles on them. We're also sharing these on our social media sites. Yeah, they're going to be cycling through them. We'll get through them. You can ask them, we're not going to answer. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that would be part of an investigation. We're talking to whomever might know anything.
They wouldn't be addressed, right?
You could have asked them, we wouldn't have addressed it. Sure. Yeah, I don't know what it's called. Okay.
Yeah, we've been waiting for any kind of update for it for some time now, and it was just getting right to the right place to let us know what was going on. And as you guys noted, we have reported, as you
Microphone check, microphone check, check baby, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Some available video from
I hear you.
Senator Hoffman or Representative Hortman.
I hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
They already have quite a bit of evidence.
I hear you. Do you hear me? You don't hear me, do you? Is my mic working?
Lists of names.
It looks like. Okay. Oh, okay.
Would be able to share with us. Again, they say if you see him, call 911. You have every reason to believe that he is armed, and you have every reason to believe that he is dangerous. And again, they shared that he could possibly be working with the help of others. They call him a suspect, a person of interest. Director of DCA said they're one the same to us at this point.
Right.
And the last fascinating thing.
Yeah, I asked that question just because they were kind of, again, speaking in a plural or speaking in a person of interest. I honestly get the sense, Julie, doing this as long as we have, that it's a whole lot of I don't knows right now. They know that's the person they're looking for, that Vance Bolter. But in terms of if Vance Bolter is with someone somewhere, they don't know that. If there was someone helping him get from place to place, they're not saying. They're saying the things that they want to help themselves with right now, not a whole lot.
Incredibly personal. We're learning here in the last 20 minutes or so. But again, guys, the big thing, they are asking people to either call that tip line they've set up. And then here I'm sure you can get on the screen. It's 877-996-6222. Or they say if you see this guy, call 911 right away because they do think he is armed and dangerous at this point. But again, the big thing, he is potentially not in that area anymore because that photo, that surveillance photo, is only for somebody else's car now.
Everything we were hearing was he's on foot, but. Once everybody's done with their live shot, I've got a tidbit that I'm going to share with you guys.
They mentioned they're gathering writings. I don't know if they found anything else. They didn't get into that. We know we found a manifesto in the suspect's car. We also know that they found flyers referring to these gatherings earlier today. We don't know if they've found anything else that's helping a clearer picture come into focus here. But they didn't go into that. I assume that is probably very much a huge focal point. But this focal point is investigation right now. We're not saying much about that at this point. Again, as you mentioned, there's brand new information out about Vance Bolter at this hour. They had some photographs of him, some surveillance video that was taken from a business earlier this morning. They told us they believe he's still in the Twin Cities area tonight. They're asking for the public's help. They're asking for the public to call 911 or call DCA. If anyone sees him,
They're going to come to me.
reminding them that he is armed and dangerous, but if you have any information, they do want to hear from you. They also said earlier today, or earlier in this news conference rather, that they're not sure if he's acting alone. They said if there's anyone who has any other information, they'd like to talk to them as well. As of right now, he is their person of interest, but they said they don't know if there were others involved tonight.
Hey, Karen and Kelly, yeah, I do have one update since that press conference, and that is from the governor's office, which they say that he is continuing to monitor the situation from this state emergency operations center. We heard from him briefly early this morning, and he kind of walked out pretty quickly after an emotional statement. And, you know, this is Melissa Hortman's a very close friend of Governor Walz, but he is still here and monitoring the situation. You mentioned he's spoken to Vice President Vance to thank the federal coordination and all of that. But yeah, the update here, you guys have given pretty much all the details here, but we're looking at this photo, and I think, Karen, you mentioned it to me in a text, but it looks like Vance Luther Bolter there has something in his left hand. It's kind of hard to determine exactly what that is, you know, and he gunned down at least, you know, 2 people at this point, and injured at least 2 more, but I'm not sure that that looks like a gun. So still trying to figure out exactly what he's carrying around at the point that they take that photo, clearly from somebody's ring video or surveillance video around the house. They wouldn't reveal exactly where.
They did, as you mentioned, speak about a couple of the other locations where they are searching, trying to gather evidence or trying to find him himself. No evidence that he has taken another vehicle or anything other than, you know, getting away on foot. But that 3-mile radius, it's been at least 6 hours looking for him in a 3-mile radius and no sign of him to this point. So, you know, at least an inkling that potentially he got outside of that radius, and now they're worried about, you know, communicating with TSA and making sure he doesn't get on a plane, or, you know, if he does get a vehicle, drive out of the state, out of the country, who knows, or try to carry out more of what he had intended to do with, you know, that manifesto listing, you know, people who support abortion rights, and maybe he had other lawmakers or other non-legislators in mind to target before he went somewhere. So again, like a lot of the Democratic lawmakers especially, I've talked to Republicans as well, but not as many, they're very scared and they're staying inside their homes. And you heard from Senator Abler about how, you know, he's had law enforcement outside of his house since very early this morning, and that's the case for a lot of them, but that's kind of, you know, putting them in a box and keeping them scared as well. So they're very concerned for their safeties, and rightfully so, given what happened this morning.
Yep, I know. I thought I'd let you.
Everybody don't relax up for half a minute. Pardon me. Just for everybody's knowledge, again, just to reiterate what some of you already know, the shelter in place in Brooklyn Park has been lifted.
Just want to interrupt you, sorry. Was just told that the Brooklyn Park shelter in place has been lifted. Yep, getting a nod. So the Brooklyn Park shelter in place has been lifted. Don't know what kind of a resolution they reached to get to that point, but yeah, the folks in that 3-mile radius around Brooklyn Park are now free to move. Everybody I've been checking, leaving their homes. They are still inside them, and at last word still had folks, you know, law enforcement outside of their homes. I think Jim Abler, the Republican from Anoka, which is just the next district over from Senator Hoffman's district, he was still, you know, had law enforcement outside his house, he said, since I think it was 2:30 or 3 in the morning, and they were still there, and they were, you know, doing shift changes, and he was occasionally going out there and talking to them, but, you know, a very concerning situation for law enforcement. And so at least as of about a half an hour ago, just before that press conference started, that was still a situation for all of them. Trying to get in my live shot?
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm good.
You okay?
Yeah.
Were you supposed to interview Hortman soon too?
Yeah, Monday.
Same. How effed is this? Like, how effed is this?
Yeah.
Like, we were all talking to her, just like,
Yeah.
Michelle just had a one-on-one with her, like, off the record, lengthy. Michelle from the former Thursday, 2 days ago. It's so messed up.
I gotta report something quickly, but.
Okay, you want me out of your hair. Bye, Mary.